Hello guys, Bungie fixed the Stronghold Exotic for Titans. Yep, that's right, they weren't working properly and were still amazing. But now, oof, you can't die. You survive everything, even in GMs. Just look at this. It's a GM. Look at the health bar. Oh, that's right, it doesn't move. You're immune to damage. They can kill you. And Grandmaster is the highest difficulty you can have in the game. And if you are playing at content at your light level, most of the times your health bar doesn't even show. Like, you are immune. They can't damage you. But what was this fix that kind of flew under the radar? Well, they fixed an issue where the Stronghold Exotic gauntlets was incorrectly granting restoration times 1 instead of restoration times 2. So now Titans have restoration times 2. This exotic can be used with every subclass, but we are going to use it with Strand. So we can get Banner of War, and Banner of War will give us and nearby allies healing and sword damage. Like, look at all the damage we can take. You just hold your sword, doesn't consume ammo, you are immortal, you can tank damage even in GMs while your teammates are safely shooting. Well, someone died, they need a revive, no problem, you can get them. In this case, I was using the Slammer sword, the new sword from GMs, but if you want even more healing, you can go with Lament. Like, you don't need the extra healing, but yeah, like, make it overkill. There are amazing choices. There are amazing swords. This is an amazing build, guys. I was really surprised, especially looking at the health bar. Like, you take no damage and you can still get restoration times 2. Amazing exotic. We tried this build in the Grandmaster Nightfall. We had a Guardian from LFG with us, and it went really well. So much fun. I was just aggroing enemies at me, tanking all the damage. A friend of mine was just kicking them, one-shotting them with this void build. Like, so much fun. It's a different way to play the game, but I really think that if you take your time to master this build, you can't die in the game. Like, you're gonna do everything, unless it's like a flying boss or something. This build works amazingly for every content in the game. Awesome. The exotic perk on the Stronghold gauntlets is Clenched Fist. Maximizes guard stats on equipped swords. You take reduced damage while blocking with the sword. Rapidly damaging targets after blocking shots with the sword grants restoration, now restoration times 2, for a duration based by the number of shots blocked. So how does this all work? When you block with your sword and you take damage, you get stacks of perfect guard, and they go up to 100. That's the maximum. Now, when you rapidly damage an enemy after blocking shots, you get restoration. In that restoration, the timer is based on the number of shots blocked. So basically, it's based by the number of stacks you have. More stacks, more or longer timer on your restoration. It's really good because you're not taking damage and you're getting restoration. So basically, you're getting restoration for attacking, you know? You're holding, you're blocking, you're not doing damage, you're not taking damage, but you need to kill the enemy, right? So you're gonna get restoration for the time that you are going to attack and you are not blocking. It's so good. But let me show you how I built it, guys. On our class ability, I chose Starring Barricade, so an extra layer of defense. And our grenade is Shackle Grenade. That's the way we're gonna suspend enemies. Aspects wise, Banner of War, of course. When you defeat a target with a melee attack, finisher, or sword, you raise a Banner of War that pulses with energy, and you get healing and increased melee and sword damage for you and nearby allies. In our second aspect, we went with Dranger's Lash. When you activate your barricade, you create a wave that goes along the ground and suspend enemies. So, two abilities, two different ways to suspend enemies. We're not gonna use Into the Fray because what that does is it's gonna give you melee energy faster, but we're not gonna use our melee, we're gonna use our sword, so that's why I went this way. On our aspects, the first one is Thread of Warding. When you pick up a Orb of Power, it grants you Woven Mail. Second one, Thread of Continuity. Suspend, Unravel, and Sever last longer, 50% longer, so they stay 50% longer in the air now. And Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy, so you get your Shackle Grenade even faster. And last one, I went with Thread of Finality. It will give you plus 10 recovery, and your finishers will create Threadlings. Finishers also work with Banner of War, so this one will generate Threadlings that will go and kill or damage enemies nearby. Mods wise, in our helmet, I went with Heavy Ammo Finder and a siphon that matches our sword. So in this case, I have a stasis sword, I'm using a stasis siphon. If I'm using a solar one, I would change to solar siphon. In our gloves, we're gonna use 3 bolstering detonation mods. That's right, 3. Why? Because 3, they give us 20% class ability back when we do damage with our grenade. And if you remember, our class ability, our barricade, also suspend enemies. So we want to have a way to suspend enemies as fast as we can. On our chest, we use 1 resist mod each. 1 solar, 1 arc, 1 void. You can double stack it if you need for a specific mission. This way it's more general. In our boots, we're gonna use Innervation and Recuperation. So when you get the Orb of Power, you get health back and grenade energy back. And the last one is a Scavenger. You need to choose a Scavenger that matches your sword. In this case, I'm using a Stasis sword, so I'm gonna use a Stasis Scavenger. So when I pick up a brick of power ammo, it gives me more than normal. And last but not least, in our class item, we're going with Bomber. So when we use our barricade, it will feed into our grenade. It will give us 12% of grenade energy back. We're going to use Reaper. When you use that barricade and you suspend that enemy, if you kill an enemy within 10 seconds with a weapon, you generate an Orb of Power and Proximity Ward. While you are doing a finisher, you get a powerful overshield. Really strong, especially with this build. That's it. I tried to be as fast as I could while still explaining everything. Hopefully you liked it. Guys, thank you so much for the support. If you're still here, if you're still watching, don't forget that like button and especially that subscription so you won't miss the next video and you can help me reach my goal of 1,000 subs. I would be so happy. So let's make a fellow guardian happy and smash that like button and that subscription. Guys, again, thank you and see you in the next one.